Hey everyone, it's Phantasm here again. Um, so this is episode 1 of our Road to Grandmaster series, and we will begin by playing about 10 minutes of puzzles, and then we'll follow that up with a game and a post-game analysis. So let's start. I'm going to put the puzzle difficulty to harder, so that I'm challenged by the puzzles. Right. So let's think about this. How are we gonna break this puzzle? Um, hmm. This one feels quite difficult. Our queen is obviously in danger, so we need to find a move that effectively gets the queen out of the way and threatens the king. I rather like the look of this move, although that bishop is a problem, so we might need to come up with another move. Oh, this works. No? Not really. I mean, he'll trade queens, which doesn't help us. Although we would win because we have 3 defenders here, so that would be enough. Let's try it. Nope. Okay, that wasn't the right move. That wasn't the right move. What is the solution? Oh, just take the rook. Okay. Let's try another one. So he's about to promote. So in order to prevent that promotion, we need to find a way to prevent it. That didn't work either. What's the solution for this? Ah. Okay. Let's see if we can work this puzzle out. No. What's the solution? Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Alright, so we've got a pawn endgame here. Let's like slow down and see if we can actually work this one out. Alright. What's the winning move? I think the winning move is actually to play here. Now, no matter which pawn we push, we're gonna get a promoted pawn. The question is, do we push this pawn or this pawn? I think we push this one. Because his king can't get to us in time. So we got that right. Right. This rook is in threat, so we need to find a way to keep it safe. Okay, that wasn't the move. What's the solution? Just take the knight. Okay. What do we think we do here? No? Ah, that's clever. Alright. Let's keep going. Oh, it's nothing obvious. Right. The knight comes out. Okay. Let's try another. What about this? No? Oh, what about this? No? Okay. This? No. 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 What's the solution? Just take it with your queen. Okay. I'm gonna try reducing the difficulty, guys. I think I'm not cut out for these puzzles. Alright. There we go. Go here. Smacked. There we go. Let's put a rook there. Let's... No? Oh, yeah. Okay. We're in a bit of trouble here. What do you think we do? There we go. Huh. Okay. Find the best move for white. The best move is... No, not pushing the pawn. Oh. 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 Yeah. Okay. Right. That makes sense. Right. That also makes sense. Right. What do we do here? Unpin? Oh, okay. I think the puzzles aren't really working for us right now. Let's just play a game. Alright, let's get utterly smacked by white. Okay, he's playing already. So my system is I play Karakan against e4, and everything else I just play a Slav, or I kind of tried King as Indian, but I think I'm just going to go Slav. So we'll do this. Okay, so he's responding with a symmetry, so I assume I should just play Slav. Okay, I'm gonna just seal my position. So I assume like I'm really solid and like there's nothing wrong with this position at all. Like, and this is perfectly good. When I see this, I like to play another pawn move because I feel like he's somehow threatening this square. I'm not sure how, but like I don't feel safe unless I press this square. So I'm going to do that. And now I think I'm going to take even more space because I want to get my bishop out of this horrible square onto something a little better. while also preparing for like a pawn trade here that potentially requires my rook to be protected by the bishop. Okay, so he's offering an opening up at the center, but I know that I shouldn't. I don't think I'm meant to take that pawn, really. And I don't want to take that pawn. I think I'm going to just play conservatively because I don't want to risk anything. I mean, I could put my bishop here, but I don't think that that would be good because he could just push the pawn and then I'll look like an idiot. So instead of that, I'll just put my bishop... I'll just put my knight here. Yeah, I'll put my knight here. Okay, that's good because now it means I can bring my bishop out, but I'll now need to get the knight to a better square. I think that taking with this pawn is better because then I can get my rook onto this file, which I would assume is ideal. And I don't want to have my king exposed, so we'll do that. Now I'm going to, I think, bring my bishop to this square. Because I want to cover these squares, basically. Okay, so he's bringing his knight forward. I see that he's trying to threaten my queen, because this square isn't protected. So we need to find a way to stop that. And I think the best way to do that is to basically go like probably here. This seems like a good place. Like we're kind of threatening the pawn, we're preventing him from doing that. And we're getting behind this like nice pawn duo that I think is quite good. This knight can't do anything. I think this knight might need to come out like this way. I'm not sure. I think my best position is probably when I play Caro-Kann. Like I seem to know what I'm doing a lot better with that position than anything else. Everything else I kind of just feel like I'm making it up as I go. Okay, so he's basically offering to, you know, trade off the... I'm gonna just test him by pushing this pawn, because I feel that this doesn't give up a lot, and it actually puts him into a little bit of a bind, because if he takes, then I'll just develop, and he's down a piece, like, in terms of... He's still behind in development, he's accelerating my development, so this seems like a good thing for me if he takes. I don't see what's the loss here. Like, I'm not losing anything, I don't think. I've still got the bishop pair, he's given up the bishop pair, so that seems like a good thing. And nothing has changed in my position, really, like, at all. I'm up a piece in development, and I've still covered squares. So now I think our next move is to try to deal with this irritating outpost. We need to eliminate this outpost. So to deal with such an outpost, I think we need to get rid of this knight. But I think we should first move this bishop, probably. I think we'll start by just moving the... Oh. No. I think what we'll do is we'll just put our bishop here. He has one really nice piece, and everything else seems to be like staring at nothing to me. whereas my pieces are like also kind of staring at not much. They create a little bit of pressure, but like they're not really doing a whole lot. I think it's time to try to get this bishop into action. So we'll do that. Now at least this rook is protected by something. And it's also offering support to this square, which I think is important. We can probably look at castling now. I think we're ready to castle. He's completed his development, but I don't think his position is that good. He's got a pawn that's like not connected to any other pawns, and my pawn structure is, I think, pretty much perfect at this point. So I don't think there's anything wrong with my position at all. I've got a bishop pair as well, so I'm winning clearly. The only thing he has that's like good is this, but I think if he's gonna not pay attention and he moves his queen, then I can just, you know, unravel this position now that the bishop is here. If I move this knight, I could probably look at other ideas too, perhaps. I don't think I should push any pawns though. I think these pawns should stay where they are because this is quite a solid structure I think I've developed here. Obviously this bishop needs to open up, but I don't know how to do that yet. Okay, so he's sort of locking down this sort of queenside area, which is kind of good for me because now I can bring my rook here. And I think that's really good because now his queen is forced to keep an eye on the knight, so we'll do that. This knight is even more restricted now. Like, it has no squares but this, and this, and maybe this, but it would require the bishop to move first, so, you know, it wouldn't be great. Like, and what is this bishop going to do? Is it going to stare at this square, or is it going to stare at this square? Or maybe this square. Like, it doesn't look great. So now I think what we'll do is we'll start seeing if we can put more pressure onto black's pieces. I think the way we do this is by putting our bishop here. Even though we've already moved it, I think we just have to if we want to. Actually, no, I think I'm just going to castle because I don't need to move anything. I just need to develop. He's not able to threaten me in any meaningful way right now. Because I don't think he understands how to attack this position. It's move 15 and he hasn't created really any threats that I can see, except for that. And if anything, like his queen is kind of awkwardly placed, where it has to watch this and this, and by extension this. So all three of these pieces are kind of a bit wobbly. Now, I think what I could do next is I could actually double the rooks, which is quite a good move because obviously that would allow me to put even more pressure here, but at the same time I need to be wary of him re-maneuvering his knight in a way that threatens me. So I don't know like if he can do anything with this knight. I don't see any obvious moves, so I'm going to just double my rooks and see what he does next. I've just made sure that this square can never be touched. Okay, so he's now trying to push his pawns. I mean, it's a move. I think what I'll do is I'll just put my rook here, and then I can just take control of the A file if he takes, because I'll have the bishop, so I should be able to just overwhelm him here. Because takes, my rook will already be here. Takes, he'll bring his other rook, and then I'll need to bring my rook down. Yeah, I mean, that's not great. But if I go here, then I can kind of like maneuver in anyway. Or I could just go here and then he'll have to take and then... Yeah, that's not ideal though. I think what we'll do is we'll just bring the rook back. Because we already have the bishop, so like we're always going to win this fight for the A file because we have more pieces here. And as long as his queen is here, then he can't really do anything. Yes, he can push the pawn, but like I don't think that matters a whole lot anyway. Okay, I mean that's also a move, but I don't think it achieves a lot. I think what we'll do now is we'll actually push this pawn because that way we can actually threaten to, well, create like an undefendable pawn, but also like weaken the structure anyway. So let's try that. Okay. By taking this pawn, I think I gain an advantage because I'm going to have control of this file. And I can take this pawn back quite easily, I think. It's going to be difficult for him to defend this without moving his queen in, so... So what's he going to do? Is he going to allow me to retake with this and perhaps do some kind of maneuver? Okay. I could just take with my queen, which is kind of nice. Or maybe I could do something else. I think it's quite tough to decide what to do here. I mean, doing this is actually kind of nice because I can threaten this, so I think I should just take the pawn. Because this is quite good actually, I think. Yes, he can bring his rook down, but at the same time I can just bring up and I'm still good. So I don't see what the problem is. I assume that will be fine. Though if I do take this pawn, then I kind of have to be worried about this, which might be a threat. He could, yeah, that's what I thought. He's gonna do this, but like he's already played his hand, so I'm not really that worried anymore. So instead of taking that pawn now, which seems a little bit inaccessible, but also isolated, yeah, there is one problem, of course. This pawn is now passed, but it shouldn't be easy for him to hold it because, well, it's a lone pawn, so there's that. I think now is actually a good time to trade this bishop off for that knight to free my pieces up a little bit more. Okay, so in this sort of situation, I think the correct move might be to draw the queen back one square so that I can maintain like a sort of tension with his rook, but also like prevent him from doing a whole lot with the pawn. Because if he moves the pawn, then not a lot is achieved. Okay, so he's got control of the A file, I've got control of the C file. Maybe I need to get control of the A file. Maybe that's the play. Especially because he's like not decided to unbank rank himself. It's worth noting this is a very close game still, and we're on move 22. I don't think that there's any specific sort of advantage here for him. He's got two really. He's got this now, and he's got this pawn pass pawn. But at the same time, like, my pawns are all connected, and he has 3 pawn islands. So if I can eliminate this pawn, I should have a pretty large advantage. Because, well, he won't have any pass pawns, and my pawns will be in synergy. And if I can maintain the bishop pair for long enough, my advantage should increase drastically. And if he forgets about this pawn, well, that's even better. We have to be mindful of this. We can't take this rook without him threatening to do this, and then our queen and bishop might be in trouble. So there is a threat here as well we have to consider. And we can't move this knight forward because of this bishop, which dominates this knight. We have to re-maneuver the knight here, but we can't move it there because of this knight, so we have to worry about that knight all the time. But this knight also can't go here because of this knight. Okay, so this is good because it kind of gives my knight a bit of maneuvering space. But what he's done here is he's added 3 defenders to this pawn, so I can't take it. What I can do is I can challenge his rook for control of the A file. And if I take his rook, he'll take with this probably, and then that would mean that the rook is coming down on these 2 pieces, which probably means I need to move my queen like this way in order to stay alive. So I'm going to go this way and see if this works, because I think I can control both files because of the bishop being here and my rook's being connected. I think that this is doable, so we're going to do it. Now I've got control of the A file, which I think is important with this pawn here. Okay, so he's decided to push his knight forward. In this sense, I think he's not really got a huge advantage, because if I just bring my bishop back, he's not able to advance, but also he clearly wants me to take so that he can connect his pawns. So I just don't want to take this knight, even though it's tempting. So we'll just bring the bishop back so that we don't lose this bishop, because we want to preserve the bishop pair, I think, at this point. Okay, so we preserve the bishop pair. Our bishops aren't on great squares, but they're doing okay. And if we just get our queen somehow to connect up with the knight, then we can get rid of this knight, perhaps. But I think more importantly, we have at least now a slightly better rook position. And if he's not careful, I can actually bank rank him. If he moves his rook to either of these squares, it's going to be game over. There's now a mate threat. Okay, so he's only got 1 defender on this square now. I think there's a lot of good options here, but quite frankly, I think our best bet might be to move the queen back. No, can't be that. Best bet is probably take at this point. Because this knight is a real problem. But then again, if we went here, then that'd be kind of nice. But then, yeah, maybe if we just put our queen here, we can get the knight to trade off. Or even go here. This would work. Let's go here. Let's create a mate threat. And see if he notices. I don't think he'll notice. He has to now put his queen, I think, onto the back rank. That's the only way. Okay, he's clearly figured that out. I think now we'll attempt to trade the knights. I do not want to allow him to have two pass pawns. That would be devastating. So let's not do that. We should not take this knight under any circumstances. We should I think we should just put our bishop somewhere in spite of the knight at this point. But I don't know where. It's kind of stuck. We can't take the knight because it's a problem. And if we go here, then we're going to lose a pawn, so that's not an option either. Perhaps remaneuvering the knight is the only valid option here. Like so. At least then I can get it to a slightly better square. Okay, so he's going for like a kind of trade here. I don't want to allow that, so I'm going to just move my queen out of the way so that that cannot occur. Again, his knight can't really do a lot. I mean, he can put a knight here, but then this knight will die anyway, so nothing is truly safe here. Hopefully I can get my knight moves in and start creating problems for him. I'm very much on the defensive here. And he seems to have all the initiative. If he does push his pawn, then I'm going to start running into trouble quickly, I think. But I don't think he's figured that he can just push the pawn. Because the rook is behind it and there are knights here. But then if he does push the pawn, then it does kind of help me because I might have an opportunity to somehow, yeah, because it's more isolated, maybe I have a chance at dealing with it. I'm gonna go after this bishop now, I think. I think that's the play. We'll try to chase the bishop. Hmm. I think we're going to put our queen here now. We need to block the pawn, and we need to find a way to break through this position. And I think that's how we do it. He should be forced now to surely put some kind of protection on this pawn. Oh, I hope I win this game, man. It's my first game on this series. Oof. What to do? I'm kind of stumped with this game, to be honest. Oh no, that doesn't look good at all. I think surely now I have to like try to queen trade him or somehow. Oh, I know, I'll do that. Yeah. That looks like it does something, but it doesn't. Maybe doing this is the way? Wait, his knight is hanging. No? No, it's not. No, the right way to do this is to clearly put my queen here and then try to trade the knights. No, maybe it's to take the knight after. No. No, that's not the move either. What if, I don't know, like what if I went here, maybe? But then that's not covered by the queen, so I have to bring the queen back. But then if I bring the queen back, he'll push his pawn. What if I bring the rook up? Maybe that'll work. I'm protecting it. I'm putting pressure on this pawn. I'm putting pressure on this knight. I'm putting pressure on this knight. I'm putting pressure on this knight. Okay, I've lost the queen. Amazing. Yeah. Alright. Well, that game went horribly, so yeah, that game went pretty bad. So let's take a look at the analysis, I guess, and figure out where we went wrong. Okay, so apparently I made 2 blunders in that game. Let's find out where we did them. Apparently, my 2 blunders were actually towards the end of the game. So in this position, I was actually winning by 3.7 points. Amazing. And the correct move was to push in the center and just open up the position, I guess. Which in hindsight makes sense because then I'd be able to get the knight. And instead of doing that, I pushed the queen, thinking I could slow the pawn down, and then I lost control of the game because I didn't pay attention to where my queen was. And then I lost the game. So that is interesting. Let's see where our first inaccuracy is then. So apparently in this position it's dead even, and the correct move was to put your knight into the game, not to push another pawn. So now I know that. And yeah, that concludes episode 1 of my series. So if you enjoyed watching that, let me know. Hopefully my next game isn't a loss. Thanks for watching.